Have you ever found yourself sitting among old friends, nodding politely, smiling when you should, but deep down, feeling a quiet ache of disconnection? It's not that you don't care. It's just that something's changed. In our younger years, friendships often feel like lifelines. We build entire lives around shared moments, phone calls, holidays, and coffee dates. We seek companionship as proof that we belong, that we're loved. But after 70, the script begins to shift. And maybe, just maybe, you've started to wonder. Is it okay to want something different now? Well, let me tell you this, yes it is. What you're feeling isn't loneliness. It's the soft arrival of something far more powerful, peace. And in this video, we're going to explore 6 bold, beautiful reasons why letting go of certain friendships might be the most loving thing you do for yourself in your golden years. Let's begin with the first reason, and it's a big one. 1. Your energy is sacred now. By the time you reach your 70s, you've weathered enough storms to know what truly matters. You've raised families, worked long hours, held space for everyone else's needs. So why, now, should your time and energy be anyone's but yours? Here's the truth, not all friendships are nourishing. Some become one-sided. Others turn into echo chambers of complaints, obligations, or emotional weight you didn't ask for. And every time you walk away from a phone call feeling tired or tense, that's your spirit whispering, "This isn't for me anymore." Mike, a 69-year-old we heard from recently, put it best. "My wife still enjoys going out with friends, but I've found more joy in my quiet kitchen, with a cup of coffee before the gym. There's something deeply satisfying about that peace." That's it. That's the magic. Choosing silence over small talk. Calm over chaos. Not because you're antisocial, but because your peace is now your most prized possession. So ask yourself, which conversations energize you, and which ones drain you? Protect your energy like the treasure it is. 2. Freedom to finally prioritize yourself. Let's be honest, how much of your life have you spent putting others first? Kids, partners, friends, neighbors, even acquaintances you didn't particularly like. Now imagine a life where your time is truly your own. Where you eat when you want, walk where you please, and say no without guilt. That's what solitude after 70 offers freedom. Sarah, 73, shared this. "I've embraced a slower pace and a simpler circle, just 2 close friends and my cat. Retirement gave me the freedom to enjoy life on my terms. And I've learned to truly like my own company." That's not sadness. That's power. That's reclaiming yourself after decades of playing roles for everyone else. And the best part? You don't have to ask anyone's permission. You've earned this chapter. Now it's time to write it your way. 3. Rediscovering who you really are. When you're no longer playing hostess, parent, spouse, or best friend, who are you, really? That question might sound scary at first. But it's actually one of the most liberating things you'll ever ask yourself. Spending more time alone isn't about isolating, it's about reconnecting. With your thoughts, your memories, your dreams. Even the quiet ones you've tucked away for years. Eva, who lives alone in a warm, flower-filled rental apartment, said it beautifully. "I'm happy, even without friends. I've created a beautiful space for myself, and I love the peace and quiet." You see, solitude creates room for you to come home to yourself. It's where you remember you used to love painting, or writing poetry, or watching birds dance in the trees. And suddenly, life stops being about filling your calendar, and starts being about filling your soul. 6. The people who remain? They're real. There's this unspoken fear many people have. If I let go of certain friendships, I'll end up alone. But here's what actually happens. The people who remain, the ones who truly see you, who honor your boundaries, your silence, your authenticity, they're the ones who matter most. Shone, 76, is still running her own business. She admits that tech is tough, but said this: "I've learned to ask for help from younger people. I'm adapting slowly, and maybe by 80, I'll fully embrace this new lifestyle." That's what real connection looks like. Mutual respect, growth, support. It's not about having dozens of names in your phone book. It's about one or two people who show up for you, not out of habit, but out of heart. And sometimes, that person might just be you. Learning to enjoy your own company is one of the greatest relationships you'll ever have. So if your circle has gotten smaller, celebrate it. You've filtered out the noise. What's left is genuine. A quiet reflection. Let's take a breath here. Notice how your shoulders feel when you imagine a life with fewer obligations, fewer draining conversations, fewer expectations to show up when your spirit says, rest. Now, imagine replacing all of that with peace, with ease, with joy that bubbles up, not from others, but from within. That's the gift of solitude. And here's the most important part: it's never too late to claim it. So here we are, after exploring energy, freedom, rediscovery, emotional safety, joy, and authentic connection. And there's one final reason to step back from certain friendships after 70. A reason that's not often spoken aloud. 7. Peace is more valuable than people-pleasing. Let that sink in. For most of your life, you may have been someone who gave, who adjusted, who softened their own needs just to keep the peace. You smiled when it hurt, showed up when you were tired, stayed quiet when your soul was screaming. But now you get to choose something else. You get to choose yourself. And not just the version of you others needed, but the real, raw, sacred version of you that exists without apology. As one woman, Nina, said so clearly, "At 80, I finally feel free to let go of the guilt around not socializing. Your words helped me realize it's okay to embrace solitude." That's what peace feels like. And it's worth protecting. Because peace isn't just a feeling, it's a boundary. It's waking up and knowing you don't owe anyone a performance. You don't have to explain your silence. You don't have to prove your worth through attendance or availability. You just have to be. And in that being lies your joy. What we've learned. Let's pause and reflect. We've learned that not all friendships are meant to last forever, and that's okay. Solitude after 70 isn't loneliness. It's self-love. Your energy is sacred. Your peace is precious. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you wise. Fewer connections can often mean deeper ones. And joy can live in silence, in soft mornings, in doing absolutely nothing, and loving every second of it. As Walter shared, peace of mind is priceless. That's why I choose calm and clarity over drama. What you're creating now is not isolation, it's liberation. You're making space for the kind of life that feels like home. Let's pause here. We've just begun exploring what it means to reclaim joy, peace, and self-discovery after 70. And already, we're seeing a beautiful truth emerge. You don't need a crowd to feel connected. You don't need constant plans to feel purposeful. You just need space, to breathe, to be, to belong to yourself again. In the next part, we'll dive even deeper into emotional safety, healthy boundaries, and the quiet power of choosing peace over people-pleasing. But for now, I'd love to know, has your relationship with friendship changed as you've aged? Have you found joy in solitude that surprised you? Let's talk in the comments below. Stay with me, and let's keep walking this gentle, powerful path together. We've talked about protecting your energy, reclaiming your time, and rediscovering who you are. Now let's go a little deeper, into the heart of emotional safety, personal joy, and the beauty of real, nourishing connections that remain when the noise fades. Because here's the truth, solitude isn't a withdrawal from life. It's a return to yourself. 4. Emotional safety is everything. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling small? Or gotten off the phone with someone who claims to care, but left your spirit rattled? It happens more than we like to admit. Some friendships are laced with old patterns, judgment, passive aggression, guilt-tripping, or subtle control. And while we may have tolerated those things when we were younger, there comes a moment, often after 70, when your inner self finally says, "No more." Nina, at 80, shared this with us. "I finally feel free to let go of the guilt around not socializing. Your words helped me realize it's okay to embrace solitude. Thank you for the clarity and comfort." What Nina discovered is what so many of us miss. Not all relationships deserve to stay just because they've lasted. Emotional safety isn't optional at this stage of life. It's essential. You deserve to feel at ease around the people in your life. If a relationship makes you tense, anxious, or emotionally drained, it's a sign. And the beauty of aging is that you finally feel strong enough to listen to that sign and let go. Letting go doesn't mean bitterness. It means choosing peace over performance. 5. You finally get to prioritize your joy. Ask yourself this: when was the last time you did something simply because it brought you joy? Not because your children wanted you to. Not because a friend expected it. But just because it made you smile. That's what this chapter is about. Walter, 68, said something that resonates deeply. "I've learned that peace of mind is priceless. That's why I prefer a few thoughtful friends. Harsh words affect me deeply now, so I choose calm and clarity over drama." This stage of life gives you permission to live softer, lighter, freer. If that means saying no to brunches that exhaust you, or skipping calls that feel obligatory, that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay, it's necessary. Joy doesn't always look like celebration. Sometimes, it looks like a quiet breakfast, a perfectly organized pantry, a slow afternoon with a crossword puzzle, or learning a new language just because, like Anna, who told us, "I'm 76 and my life is full, with faith, routines, and hobbies. I study languages, cook, clean, and stay active. Each day feels like a blessing." That kind of joy. It doesn't need validation. It just needs space. Your turn, let's talk. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever chosen solitude over social expectations, and found peace because of it? Is there a friendship you've let go of, not out of anger, but out of love for yourself? Or maybe, you're just now beginning to realize it's okay to want something different in this season of life. Whatever your experience is, I invite you to share it in the comments. Your words might be the comfort someone else needs to read today. And if this video spoke to your heart, please give it a like, subscribe for more soul-nourishing content, share it with someone who might need a little reassurance, a little inspiration, or a little permission to slow down and simply be. Final thought. Life after 70 doesn't mean fading into the background. It means rising into the truest version of yourself. It means finding beauty in the stillness. It means no longer needing to prove anything to anyone. So whether your days are full of music, movement, or gentle silence, may you feel at peace in your own presence. May you learn to befriend yourself in the most tender ways. Because you, my friend, are enough. Just as you are. Here's to your quiet joy, your sacred space, and your most authentic chapter yet. Until next time, take care, walk gently, and know, you're not alone on this path.